Okay, this is NewYorkSteelo once again with a quick update on my new 3-week-old nano system. First, I want to be covering the major changes that I want to do to this system entirely. I'm going to be doing so many changes to it. As we go further down in the video, I'm going to be talking about how well it's doing, and I'm going to be talking about the changes that I will be doing to the inside of the system itself. Now, the first change that I want to discuss is that, as you can see here, I've got one Coralia 4, which is basically hooked up to a wave maker, creating the water movement. Now, this goes from 500 gallons to 1400 gallons per hour. I will be replacing this Coralia 4 with one Vortec MP10. I believe that with one Vortec MP10, it should be enough water movement to keep the debris suspended and basically make the skimmer work more efficiently. Now that I've mentioned the skimmer, let's talk about this damn skimmer, man. I am extremely upset at this skimmer. I should expect it. I've always dealt with the skimmer. My girl is extremely upset at it. She's nagging about it all the time, but she's going to have to deal with it because I'm the one that pays the bills in this house. But she complains that the skimmer makes too much noise, and it is true. Basically, when you take the air valve here and you adjust it so as to create more micro bubbles, the skimmer just makes a hideous and annoying type of hissing noise that is just louder than everything else that runs in the system. You know, that's one of the things I don't like about it. Besides that, let's look at the collection cup here. Now, I cleaned this collection cup, what, a week ago? A week and a half ago? And this is how much it has collected. This is horrible. It's horrible because the collection cup itself is really small. So you could just imagine how much gunk it's actually producing. Aside from that, the gunk production is I mean, it's the best that you're going to get when you are talking about dealing with a Venturi type skimmer. But when I added my EV180 for about 12 hours before I sold it, I had it in a way that it was sitting here and kind of billowing the water over to the system. It was producing gunk it produced gunk for 12 hours straight. Live Rock itself produces waste, the critters and all that, and there is a skimmer should always be working. And the bottom line is the skimmer also releases a lot of micro bubbles to the tank. This is a goner, but I can't remove the skimmer as of yet because the system has to survive with it and probably will be doing worse without it. But that leads me to the third major change that I'm going to be doing to the system, and that is going to be that I'm going to be building a sump. I'm going to build it by hand. I've decided that I'm going to take this area in here and I'm probably going to do a sump. I'm going to do it out of pieces of glass. If you guys want to subscribe to my videos, I will be documenting the entire process on YouTube and showing you guys how I built the sump with the silicone and everything. So stay tuned for those updates. Now, aside from that, I'm going to be removing the fluval, which is a freshwater filter system, not a saltwater filter. I will be adding an EV120 or possibly a better skimmer. Not sure what route I'm going to go. And I'm also going to add this piece of equipment as a precaution. Now, this is an Aqua UV 8-watt sterilizer. I've owned this for a very long time. It still has the tubing that was connected to the fluval system when I used to run my first saltwater 45-gallon fish tank 6 years ago. And I'm going to be adding it simply as a precaution and probably momentarily until I get the right amount of fish that I'm going to be adding to the system. I don't want an ick outbreak to come out and for me to lose some fishes. Now, aside from the changes that I've discussed, I've gone ahead and removed this trumpet LPS coral, large polyp stony, and I've taken it out of my 90-gallon tank, and I've gone ahead and added him to this 30-gallon system. I've also taken the white pom-pom xenia from the 90-gallon and added it to the system. Now my plans are to remove all or most of the LPSs on the 90-gallon system, and some of the mushrooms and some of the leather corals, and I'm going to be bringing them in here because I want this system to be wall-to-wall corals. And I'm going to take the 90-gallon system and turn it into a complete SPS system. So stay tuned for those updates. Guys, I have so many videos I have to do. I've got a list of about 7 videos that I want to do, and it just, I get inspired. Like I'm at home, you know, I'm chilling, I'm by myself, my girl's working or something, and it just enters my mind, and I'm like, okay, let's make a video about the 30-gallon tank. So that's just the way I am. I'm at the spur of the moment. So I will make all these videos as time comes, and with these changes, I will make sure that I document these changes on YouTube entirely. Now, let's talk about how well the system is doing. The system is doing beautifully. As you can see, most of the diatoms have died out. I haven't cleaned the sand bed. The only thing that I've really done to this tank is just clean the front of the glass. I did it about 3 days ago. And I've also added this anemone here. Now this is a Condi anemone, and Nike here, which appears to be extremely happy and just swimming back and forth and all over the place. I'm happy for him because, you know, he was actually stuck on a boxed-in refugium setup on my 90-gallon. Now he has all this space to swim around, and he's just loving it. But I'm a little upset about the fact that he's not paying attention to the anemone. And the reason for that is because Nike here is a misbar clownfish that is tank raised. He was basically raised in captivity, so he doesn't know anything about anemones, and he hasn't really taken to it. Although I will tell you that on many occasions I see that Nike here just stares at the anemone endlessly sometimes, and he does that as if to look at it and say, why is it that I am so attracted to this creature? And the reason for that is because in Nike's nature, you know, he has a symbiotic relationship with anemones, and you know, eventually he will host the clown. The anemone will host the clownfish. Probably when I add another clownfish to the system, and if I get a wild caught one and he goes straight for the anemone, Nike will also do that. Now, quickly about the anemones, I know I've added this anemone from my 90-gallon, and this is a new system, and I don't recommend you to add anemones unless your system is at least 6 months to a year old, because anemones like old water, they like stable systems. The only reason why I can get away with it is because most of the water that's in this 30-gallon tank came from my 90-gallon old water system, and the live rock is really good quality. Other than that, system is doing just beautifully, like I said. Stay tuned for future updates, and subscribe, people. This is NewYorkSteelo signing out. Peace.